I'm Chuck, KK6USY. Welcome to Ham Radio Ventures. Today we're going to take a little journey. I have, well, let me say I'm lacking, let's just say I'm lacking any real gain on 40 meter. I have well, I'll show this to you in a little bit here, but what I have is a tower, and it's a 40-foot tower plus 16 feet to the very top. Okay, so what I have on top of the tower is I have a 7-element 2-meter Yagi from M Squared. It's set up horizontal for SSB. What I have below that is a DIY, I made it myself, LFA, I think they call it, 6-meter 5-element Yagi also. That also is horizontal. And then below that I have a TA33 from Mosley. I picked that up used for almost nothing compared to what I got, and you will see some of the other stuff I got with it today as we look at what we're going to do here. But so I'm pretty covered from, that's 10, 15, and 20 on the big Yagi, the tri-bander, and 6 and 2. What I really lack is any kind of real gain. I'd like to get some gain on 40, and I want to point it northeast. That's where I point my Yagi most of the time, and that gets me pretty much the East Coast on those bands. My longest, South Carolina on 6-meter, I got that last year during one of the openings. So in 2-meter, I live in a terrible area for 2-meter because I'm surrounded by hills, but I still get out. I get out to like Fresno, which is 160, 70 miles, something like that. So what I'm gonna do is some phased verticals for 40. Now my good buddy NJ4Z, John Gendron, he said he will make me a box to do the phasing part of it. That's, for me, I mean, I could make it probably once I figured it out, but he already builds a kit, and he probably will be selling these kits sooner or later here. So this might be a good chance for him to see how they work with somebody other than him actually building it. So it might be good for him too. Then I need, I think, some 75 ohm coax. I'm looking at 2 different kinds. You get RG6, RG11. RG6 is 18 gauge usually, and it looks like it's copper clad, copper over steel. And it's 1.1, I think, per 100 feet on the loss. And then you have RG11, which they sell that at DX Engineering, and that's where I'm looking at some of my stuff. 0.7 for 100 feet, and that was all at 30 megahertz. Probably a little bit less, since we're a little bit lower than that. Okay, so let me talk about this a second. I actually contacted Callum, the DX commander, and asked him which one of his masts he would suggest. And Callum said the Signature 9 is one of the antennas masts that he sells. It's beefier, a little heavier duty, and probably doesn't need any guying. And I think if you watch his video, he's doing a 4-square right now. You guys should check that video out. I'll try to link that in my description below also, because basically what I'm making is half of what he's making. It would be nice in the long run. Maybe I do add the other 2, but for now, I just want to get some gain east, and this will give me north. See, northeast, and then the other direction, which is southwest, I think. Don't hold me to that one. That was quick video guessing there. So that is one choice. 2 of the Signature 90s would cost me $242. That's with the little clips to hold them up, because I'm going to have the clips to hold them up. The only thing with that is it's not long enough, and he said I'll have to go up and over. I'll have to go up and then back down, kind of linear loading like he does some of his antennas. I don't know if I want to do that, but it's a way. But like about $240, and then also wire. Now, when Callum started his project, he talked to Tim Duffy. Tim Duffy is he's like the president of DX Engineering, and he asked him for advice also on his 4-square. And Tim actually sent him all the stuff, all the electronics parts, which is very similar to what I'm doing, for his 4-square. So that was a great deal. My other choice is from DX Engineering though, is Comtech. Now Comtech makes, they make specific single band antennas for this type of use. And I want to say that 2 of them used to cost about $300 or so. Right now, a kit is $652. little more than I wanted to pay. I should have bought these a long time ago. I don't know, you know, the price of everything has gone up. So my third choice is, I have a bunch of aluminum left over from when I bought my TA33, and that's what I told you guys. I'll show you what's going on there. So let me turn you around and show you what I have. Okay, let me show you what I have here. If you look, let me find something to point with. Otherwise you guys won't be able to see what I'm doing. So a long time ago when I first got into this, my buddy talked me into building a 2-element 20-meter full-size Yagi. This would be the driven here. I made my own tuning match, which it worked pretty good. This is, I think this was the boom for it, and this is the distance. If you see the distance there, I forget what it actually is. This is 1 5/8". I love to use this, but I don't have anything that really matches up to it. But this one here is, this is the driven, and then this, so this one here, it was the director. So it was a director driven. It didn't have a reflector. And this is 32 feet, which is about what I need. I need like 34. This one's a little longer. I'd say about 34 feet, 33, something like that. But I also have this piece here, which looks like it's about 20 feet. And then this is another TA33. This is the center section one. I didn't use this one. The other one I had was in better shape. I got 2 of these things, like 150 bucks, and you guys wouldn't believe all the stuff that I got that day. But anyhow, damn spiders. So I also have from that TA33, these are coils for making a 40 meter element, and that would be on like a single, it would be on the driven, I think, is how it went, and that would be just for a rotatable dipole. I didn't use that because it really, if you look at the length of this, that's how much it adds. It adds another probably 10 to 20 feet. So I have all this stuff. I think this is where I'm going to go, but I'm not sure yet. Let me show you a couple more things that I have. Now, these, I'm going to lay it down so it's a little easier to see. These would make my life a lot easier because guess what? These are already isolated like they need to be. They already have mounts, both of them. What I would do on this one is probably just take the coil off and get rid of it, or at least get it out of there for now. But these would give me my base, and they're pretty doggone close to what I need to match up to the other pipes. I might have to get one little section, so I have enough of this stuff. All right, so the only thing that I really have a little worry about is whether this can be freestanding. I think it can. If nothing else, maybe one guy line, one spot on the things. I'm going to try it without it. I think it'll work. I don't get a ton of wind where I'm at. If you guys see the hills around me, it kind of blocks the wind. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's all blown out. No, you can't see that. I think this is going to work with all the pieces I have. I have some more out back. I also have I have a couple more poles of aluminum out back that I can use also, and those would probably just make it to where I have bigger stuff at the bottom, so it's a little bit stronger. And all this stuff is pretty heavy gauge compared to a lot of the stuff you buy these days. These are old antennas. They built them a little bit stronger back in the day. Mosley probably still does. Now I also talked to my buddy Ziggy. Ziggy's a 75 ohm. If you haven't checked out his channel, check it out. He does a lot of different things. He likes 75 ohm coax for one. I asked him, he showed me some fittings because I think I'm going to do their F style for coax for like TV and stuff like that. I think I'm going to use that for now at both for the 275 ohms. You need 275 ohms that are a quarter wave length, but I think that's a quarter wave length times the velocity factor. So somewhere around 25-ish, 24 feet. So I'm gonna change things around and I will show you where I'm gonna install this, okay? I'll take you down the side of the fence here. On the outside, it's a little easier to walk the road. All right, third time's the charm, hopefully. So I live on the end of a street that basically I have a creek on next door to me. Hopefully you guys can see that. A little flood control road. My lot for a residential area is pretty big. It's 200 feet deep, only 50 wide, but that's kind of normal here. So let me take you down and show you where I want to put this. Maybe first of all, we'll look at at my tower. And so there's my tower there. I'll get you a little closer. If you look at the top, that's a 7-element 2-meter Yagi from M squared. The second one down is a 5-element 6-meter LFA Yagi. I made that myself. I got into South Carolina this year on 100 watts. And then I have a TA33 from Mosley. That is 10, 15, and 20. So I have 6 bands on my tower. So this may be my other problem with this, is right where I want to put this. You can see this pole right here. That goes up there, that's 30 feet. And that's my dipole, or my doublet right there, okay? My doublet used to reside in this tree at 80 feet. But as you see right there, the big limbs, that was a problem. It kept falling down or falling onto. It actually bent the pole that's on at the other end. So my plan is, though, is this corner here someplace. I have room around this to put my radios around the sides. And so right there, now you need a 1/4 wave, which is somewhere in the 34-foot range. 34 feet is basically right there. So I have plenty of room there. I do have this room on this road here where I can bring my radios out, and maybe I'll just, they say you can bury them just a little bit. So maybe I'll do that. They want you to have about, let's see, minimum of 30, I think, 1/4 wave. So 1/4 wave is like we said, 34 feet. Pretty big. I may do shorter ones, I don't know. If they do intersect in the middle, they want you to bond them together with one solid piece of wire. So that's a little work, and it might be a little pain if I need to pick it up to do something in the back here. I park stuff in the back. I've got a trailer and a boat back here, a little aluminum boat. So my other option was, and I've been thinking about this for a long time. Now my lot is the right width and it's ported northeast, which is perfect for hitting the East Coast and Europe, pretty much. Thought about putting a Moxon up here. Now the Moxon is perfect width, and it's not real long this way. It's about the same, I forget exactly, but it would fit in the back here. I'd probably try to get it 30 feet, if not 40. That would be kind of tough. I think this is the easier process. Now, as you guys saw, I'm probably gonna go with the aluminum I already have and go with that. It's the cheapest way for me to go right now. I don't have to buy any mast or anything. I don't have to buy, man, those, I'd love to buy the ones from Comtech, but they're out of stock and they're super, super expensive these days. I think they doubled in price. So if this interests you guys and you guys like this video, please hit me a like for this one. Now this is going to probably be at least a 3, maybe a 4-part videos on this whole process, kind of like what Cal does. He brings you along as he does stuff. At least 3 videos, I think. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe if you want to see this stuff. Hit the bell, hit all that way, you'll get all my future videos. I really appreciate you guys spending your time with me today. I know your time is valuable, and I really do appreciate it. I'm Chuck, KK6USY, for Ham Radio Ventures. Thank you for joining me. 73 all, and hope to catch you guys on the airwaves. Maybe someday we'll actually make contact. You guys are back east on 40 meters. 73 all.